YouTube family, what is going on? If y'all don't know me, my name is AJ, and in today's video, I'm going to be answering the question of should Christians celebrate Halloween? Technically, I've already made this video. It saves on my phone, but it's like 30 to 40 minutes, and I feel like a lot of y'all don't have the attention span to stick on your phone watching the video for 40 minutes or whatever it is, and that's just without the edits, so like it'll take me time to edit that. So I'm remaking this video and I'm gonna try and stick to my goal of under 15 minutes. So let me stop all this yapping and I'm gonna just go right into it. We gotta look at the origins of Halloween, right? It actually began because it was an ancient festival. It was an ancient festival called, I think it was, Samhain is spelled Samhain. The original belief, listen to this, the original belief is that the boundary between the living and the dead became blurred. So there was no more boundary, right? That the spirits could return to the earth. As time passed and passed and passed, Christianity really started to blow up. And in this Christianity starting to blow up, the church tried to spread it across Europe. The church tried to replace these pagan festivals with Christian festivals, which ended up making November 1st All Hallows Day, and the day before being All Hallows Eve, which was October 31st, which we now know as Halloween. But listen to this, to protect themselves, they would light bonfires, right? And this is historically recorded, so this isn't just me saying this and making these up, this is recorded in history. It says that they would light bonfires, they would wear costumes made of animal skins, and they would offer sacrifices to Celtic, however you want to say it, to Celtic gods and spirits. They would do this to try to scare away or to please the dead. I mean, I could end the video right there if I'm keeping it 100 with you, because we already got a tie of something spiritual, offering a sacrifice unto a false god. Let's talk about how trick-or-treating even began. We can look at the Middle Ages, where it says that poor people would go door to door and they would ask for soul cakes, and the soul cakes was just a fancy name at the time for like little pastries or little cakes. And in return, listen to this, this is also historically recorded. In return, they would pray for the dead relatives of the household. Praying for dead relatives of the household? That is crazy. Let's stick in the European side and let's go to Scotland and Ireland, which is this thing called guising. Guising. You can look it up. Again, this is historically recorded. People began to dress up in these costumes and all these different kind of designs, right? But they would do this not just for an aesthetic, but they would do this in order to hide from the spirits or to imitate the dead, or basically to imitate them. So we can see again, this has another spiritual meaning, it has another spiritual tie. Then began the tradition of people going door to door to doing performances, which is like singing, maybe cracking jokes or whatever it is, having a performance, and in return, they'd give them food or treats, which is where we get trick-or-treating from. So then how in the world did a European tradition end up getting to the country of the USA? The European immigrants ended up bringing these European customs to the United States. And as time passed on, the American culture and the society of America ended up mixing those traditions and those customs. So the souling, which was the trick-or-treating, the guising, and all the fall festivals were ended up being merged. So it was different, and now they merged them into one big thing. And by the 50s, the thing of going door to door for trick-or-treating and for the candies and stuff, that was already something that was normalized. So in the end, Halloween has pagan origins, and the church tried to like Christianize it in their own way, to which the European customs ended up getting to America, and it becomes what we know now as Halloween, and it, it's really Halloween as we know it today. Ephesians 5:11 says, "Have nothing to do with the fruitless deeds of darkness, but rather expose them." So it's telling us to have nothing with the deeds of darkness. And what do we see a lot in the history that I just read you off of Halloween? We see a lot of darkness. A verse that I have talked about so much on my channel is Romans 12:2. Do not be conformed to the way of the world, but rather be transformed in the renewing of your mind. And the later part of that verse, I believe it says to so that you can know God's perfect and pleasing will. I'll put that verse up as I always do. But there's another verse that says, don't be like the world. It says, be set apart from the world. Let your mind be changed and let your mind be transformed. A verse that gets talked about a lot and I myself use in a lot of my conversations is, I believe it's 2 Corinthians 6. It's somewhere in 2 Corinthians 6 or 7, but I could be wrong. 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 14 says, do not be yoked together with unbelievers, for what do righteousness and wickedness have in common? Or what fellowship can light have with the darkness? So we can already see light and dark on two separate sides. Light is not supposed to be with dark. If we are the light of the world, as Jesus tells us, I believe in the book of John, If we're the book of, if we are the light of the world, why would we want to spend our time surrounded and our circle be filled with darkness? We know that in the Old Testament, God talks a lot about what are some things that are detestable to him. In other words, what are things that he absolutely does not like. Pretty much he hates it. Deuteronomy chapter 18 verse 10 to 12 says, "Let no one be found among you who sacrifices their son or daughter in the fire, who practices divination or sorcery, interprets omens, and engages in witchcraft or casts spells, or who is a medium or spiritist, or who consults with the dead. Anyone who does these things is detestable to the Lord. Because of the same detestable practices the Lord your God, you will drive out those nations before you." So we can see he does not like witchcraft, mediums, anything spiritual with the universe and all that, and all like the horoscopes, the zodiac signs, all those things, demonic. Horoscopes, demonic. Ouija board, demonic. Tarot cards, demonic. Palm reading, demonic. Third eye, demonic. Witchcraft and all those things with the shamanism and chakras and stuff, that is demonic. And the Lord does not like that because that is witchcraft. And what did we see a lot in the history of Halloween? We saw a lot of witchcraft. And I'm going to talk about this final verse that is convicting. It convicted me, and even just reading it, just a reminder of even how simple but yet powerful it is. And that verse is 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 21. That verse reads, "You cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of demons too. You cannot have a part in both the Lord's table and a table of demons." Simple but yet powerful. We can't try to sit at a table and be holy with the Lord, but yet we're trying to partake in the things of evil. We have to pick one. You only get one chair. You can't sit in two. So as the final thought before I answer the question, here's what I wrote down. Halloween may look fun, but what are the main themes behind it? We can look at it as fear, death, darkness, witchcraft, spirits, evil being glorified, demons, ghosts, gore, all those things. Even if the people call it fun, we can't ignore what it represents. We can't ignore the origins behind it. Halloween celebrates fear and darkness, and those are two of the many things that the Lord calls us to stay away from. So now to answer the question, should us as Christians celebrate the holiday of Halloween? And the answer is no, because we can see that Halloween celebrates. We can look at the origins about the pagan worship, the sacrificing things to their false gods, lighting the bonfires, imitating the spirits by getting disguises, praying for the dead relatives, all that information that I previously talked to you about. Because again, that was historically written down, not written down by me. That wasn't just me talking. So again, we shouldn't be celebrating Halloween. And if you call yourself a Christian and you're gonna go and celebrate Halloween this year, really think about it. Really think about it. I'm telling you. Do your research again, because I just gave you guys the information about how spiritual it is and the pagan origins of it. Really, again, do your own research. Look at the meaning behind it. Look how spiritual it is. And once that information reaches you and you now have the knowledge in your mind, I don't think that it should even be a question. So again, Christians should not celebrate Halloween. But that's pretty much it. I don't have anything else to say. Again, second guess yourself. Are you really gonna go and celebrate a a holiday that celebrates a lot of darkness and evil? Just really think about it, man. Just really think about it. I know Halloween's upcoming, and I know there's gonna be a lot of people that go out there. Maybe they do or don't know it, but if you don't, just maybe send them this video, or maybe just tell them about the information of Halloween and the history of it. So I hope that y'all enjoyed the video. Maybe you learned something. Maybe you didn't. Maybe this was a good refresher and a reminder for you. The next video I have already done. So once this video comes out, the next video is already done. And stay tuned for that one. That video is called "What is the best version of the Bible?" Out of all the KJV, NIV, NASB, all those different versions, which version of the Bible is the best? You'll want to stay tuned for that one. But again, I hope that y'all enjoyed the video. And if y'all don't know me, I'm AJ. I'll see y'all on the next one.